guys, good evening. Welcome back to my channel. So again, this is Paput and Maput. Tonight guys, I'll be discussing about the GCQ or the General Community Quarantine. I'll show you the slide, okay, while I'll be discussing it. Let me show you the slide then. Hey guys, so now let's discuss about the guidelines of the GCQ or the General Community Quarantine. So, this covers the minimum public health standards shall be complied with at all times for the duration of the GCQ. So this are the focus of the general community quarantine. So first, under the GCQ, movement of all persons shall be limited to accessing essential goods and services, and for work in the office or industries permitted to operate movement for leisure purposes. Okay, hindi po allowed yung gumala tayo. But we are allowed to, like, we can buy essential needs, foods, and other services that we need to adhere. Okay, so yun yung mga bagay na pwede nating ma-access during the GCQ, and also some of the industries or some of the common companies were already permitted to operate. So meron ng mga trabahante, well, I think for this one, if I'm not mistaken, 50% of the company, 50% of the employees were allowed to work. Okay, work. So ayan na. So what they're not allowed to go out. So yung mga tao na hindi pwede lumabas ng bahay. So first, we have persons below 21 years old. So yung mga babies natin sa bahay, companion natin sa bahay below 21 years old, we're not allowed to go out. A person 60 years old and above, so this are our elders. So hindi po sila our senior citizen. Hindi po sila pwede lumabas kasi mahihina yung mga immune system nila. And also yung mga those with immunodeficiency, comorbidities, or other health risks. A pregnant woman, of course, very sensitive sila kaya hindi sila pwedeng lumabas. Any person who resides with the aforementioned. Okay, yun, except when obtaining essential goods and services. Okay, except na lang kung meron talaga tayong kinakailangang bilhin, gamot, pagkain, and any services na kailangan natin i-transact outside. So, okay. But make sure that we have to bring with us our, yung pass, yung maliit na card, yung merong numbers. Okay, so next, under the GCQ as well, work in the government offices may be at full operational capacity or under such alternative work arrangement as agency may deem proper in accordance to issues by the Civil Service Commission. Okay, yung mga government natin, back to work na, such as SSS, pag-ibig, and everything. But shout out for those to those frontliners. Okay, saludo po kami sa lahat ng mga frontliners, mga doctors, nurses, police, and nasa yung nasa field health, yun, mga nurses and everything yung mga tumutulong sa hospital. Ingat po kayo and God bless. Next, allowed to operate. So those are the industries who are allowed to operate. So we have the category 1 industries: agriculture, fisheries, forestry, industries, food manufacturing, and food supply chain business, including food retail establishments such as supermarkets, grocery stores, and food preparation establishment. Yun po sila at iba pa. Next, we have allowed to operate. We have the category 2 industry, the mining and other manufacturing export-oriented, and electronic commerce companies, as well as other delivery repair and maintenance, and housing and office services. At anywhere between the 50%. Yan. Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, guys. The 50% up to full operational capacity and without prejudice to work from home. And other alternative work arrangements. So we have a different alternative agreements with our employer, I mean. So, yun po yung pina-follow natin. Also, it states on the category 2 that 50% of the employees were allowed to go back to work. Okay, yung fully operational yung nasa office po talaga. Nagjo-duty everyday, ganun. The next, we have allowed to operate category 3 industry. Financial service, BPOs. So, BPOs, ito po yung mga call center. They are also allowed to operate now. Legal and accounting and auditing services, professional, scientific, technical, and other non-leisure service. Wholesale and retail establishment at a maximum of 50% work on the site. Same thing, 50% work on the site. Okay, the rest will have the employer arrangement. It was also released by the Dolly that the employer could propose a work arrangement towards their employees. Okay. The next, we have under the GCQ, malls and shopping centers may open, okay, except for leisure establishment. Except po talaga yung parang pwede nating like magawing libangan sa malls. Such establishment and services allowed to operate in malls and shopping centers may only operate at the limited capacity. Okay. Next, we have the construction project allowed during the GCQ in accordance with guidelines issued by the DPWH. Essential public and private construction projects such as, but not limited to, sewerage, water service facilities, digital work, health facilities, amusement, gaming, and fitness establishment, as well as those in the kids and tourism industries, may not operate during the GCQ. Okay, we are aware that those things were like a lot of people wants to go to an amusement park, wants to go to the gaming park, and wants to go to the gym. Okay, so to make them physically fit, and then the kids in tourism industry as well. But kids were not aware what's happening right now, so let's save them. Okay, hindi po nila alam anong hinahawakan nila, anong kinakain nila, and everything. So we have to be very careful of them. Amusement, ang daming tao dun, kaya iwasan po natin yung maraming tao. Yun. So the next, we have no hotels or similar establishments shall be allowed to operate except those accommodating the following. Okay, that one. For areas outside Luzon, guests who have existing booking accommodation for foreigners as of May 1, 2020. Guests who have existing long-term bookings. Distress overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, and standard Filipinos or foreign nationals. Okay? So, yun po yung mga exemption. Provide in all the foreigners that the operation shall be limited to the provision of the basic lodging to guests. Yun po sila. Physical classes shall be suspended for the duration of the GCQ. So, wala po yung like face-to-face na talagang classroom setup ng klase for the students. So, however, higher education institution may hold class through flexible learning arrangement to finish the school year 2019-2020. So, they have a flexible learning on this gonna be an arrangement under the schools. Department of Education operate at a limited capacity to receive student requirements, prepare and issue credential to students. So we can still process, but with a limited capacity only. This is all subject for the guidelines as may be issued by the CHED. So, subject pa yon. Mass gathering are still prohibited and highly discouraged under the GCQ. Alam naman natin, Filipinos are very religious persons. So, masses are still prohibited because maraming tao po talaga during the mass. However, essential work gatherings and religious activity may continue as long as strict social distancing is maintained during the entirety of the event, subject to the following: at least 2-meter distance between and among those attending, mandatory wearing of face mask, face shield, or other facial protective equipment by attendance. Okay, yun po. Kailangan po natin yun i-comply for those religious gathering. Okay? Yung mga prayers, yun. Next, we have road, rail, maritime, and aviation sectors of public transportation shall operate at reduced capacity in accordance with guidelines issued by the DOTR. A strict 1-meter distance between passengers shall be observed in a public transport. So, yun po yun. So, we have to strictly follow what are the guidelines provided to us to keep us safe, not only us, but to keep our family safe at home. Okay? We are the one allowed to go out, but our family stayed at home. We have to keep them safe by following the procedures or the proper guidelines. Next, we have all other previous guidelines and the ECQ are still in effect unless otherwise amended by the IATF and or President of the Philippines. Okay, so we still need to follow the other guidelines on the ECQ. Okay, andun pa rin po tayo. Okay? So, that's all for the guidelines of the GCQ, the General Community Quarantine. So, everyone, I hope my video helps you to understand what is the main point of the GCQ. Okay, GCQ or having a general community quarantine doesn't mean that we have to neglect or we have to disregard what are the practices that we've already done during the ECQ, but we still have to apply that one. Okay, andun pa rin po yun. The only thing changed is like the good thing. Okay, it's a good thing for us, especially for those employee na no work no pay. So now 50% of the employees were allowed to work, okay? But with an alternative, of course, arrangement with their employer. Kung ano man po yung mga arrangement na or mga agreement between the employee and the employer. So, we have to follow proper guidelines, proper distancing, public distancing po. We have to follow as well yung mga precaution na kailangan natin, that we have to wear mask. We have to be at least 1 meter or 2 meters away from each other. We have to bring with us always an alcohol or a hand sanitizer so that we can disinfect our hand or other parts of our body from time to time. Okay, and also when you reach your home, okay, pag dumating po kayo sa bahay, make it sure that you will keep the distance to your family. If ever hindi pa po kayo like nakapaghugas ng kamay or as much as possible, take the bath. Kasi, though lumalabas po tayo, though sasabihin po natin, maybe it's safe, but we should not settle with the word maybe. We have to make sure the safety of everyone, okay, especially of our loved ones, okay. At this time, during this pandemic, so we have to face, or we have to work as one, okay. Kasi para maging maayos po lahat, okay. This is not for the benefit of one person, but this is for the benefit of every person, okay? When you make yourself safe from the pandemic disease, which is the coronavirus, I really don't want to mention the name. It makes like, it feels like, parang sad, kasi hindi natin akalain in a blink of an eye dumating tong kind of virus, and then with a very like with a very simple symptoms na hindi po natin aakalain na ay eto na pala yun. Yung parang isipin na natin, I just have a simple flu, I just have a simple fever, or ubo or what, but we don't know really. So for me, make sure to keep yourself safe so that everyone will be safe as well. Alright, so I hope you like this video, and if you do, please don't forget to like and then subscribe to my channel. Looking forward to be a friend of everyone, of course. And that's it. But if you want to request any kind of video, you can comment below if you want to learn something, or anything, okay, about what's happening to our society right now. The only thing I am grateful is that our government really doing their best, okay, para po matugunan lahat ng mga pangangailangan ng mga mamamayan, especially those poor among the poorest. Let's continue pray for everybody na maging okay na po ito lahat. Back to normal na po tayo, but it's a good start na po yung GCQ, kasi hindi na po mahirapan, like for me, nagre-rent lang ako, and then sometimes paglalabas ako during the SCQ, sumasakay ako ng tricycle, taxi, kasi walang masakyan na jeep, tas ang mahal. So much better na naging GCQ na, kasi as far as I know, meron na kasi mga jeep, so makakamura na rin po tayo dun sa pamasahe. Okay, laban na po talaga tayo. Okay, let's pray together, and also let's help our government to follow all the guidelines that they provided for us. Kasi ginagawa nila yan, not for them, but for us, for everybody na maging safe. Okay? So, I think that's all. So, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, and good night. Bye.